everyone, and welcome back. A big credits Gustavo Gomez as both the producer
Oh, wow.
and the director. Ready to explore some famous quotes? Today we're looking at a document called The 100 Most Famous Quotes of All Time.
Ah, yeah, a classic.
What hidden gems can we unearth in these familiar phrases?
And how can we apply this wisdom to our lives today?
So let's start with overcoming fear and finding opportunity.
Sounds good.
A perfect quote to kick things off, FDR's, "The only thing we have to fear is fear itself."
A powerful statement, especially considering the context.
The Great Depression. Imagine the weight of those words.
Right, the nation was paralyzed by fear.
He had to shift people from inaction to action.
He acknowledged the fear, but reframed it as the enemy.
Not the situation itself.
Exactly. It's a principle that still resonates today. Letting fear control you can make you miss out on amazing opportunities.
Like Nelson Mandela said, it always seems impossible until it's done.
Mandela is a perfect example.
27 years in prison, but he never gave up on his goal.
What's an impossible goal you have?
Starting a business, writing a book.
Maybe it's having a tough conversation you've been avoiding.
That quote reminds us that anything can be achieved by breaking it down into smaller steps.
It's like that saying, a journey of 1,000 miles.
Begins with a single step.
Right. And each step, even a tiny one, gets you closer.
Don't underestimate those incremental actions.
Absolutely.
And then there's Eleanor Roosevelt. Do one thing every day that scares you.
Is this about jumping out of airplanes?
I don't think so.
It's about realizing that you grow the most outside of your comfort zone.
Those things that scare us.
They often represent areas where we can learn and evolve the most.
So lean into the fear instead of avoiding it.
Exactly. What's one small step you can take today to push yourself?
Sending that email I've been putting off.
Or signing it for that class.
Those small acts of courage can have a big impact.
And here's where it gets even more interesting. Einstein said, "In the middle of every difficulty lies opportunity."
So facing our fears could actually lead to opportunity.
Precisely. Think about it. Challenges make you adapt. Think creatively.
You have to find new solutions.
Exactly. Innovation often comes from overcoming obstacles.
What if we see fear as a doorway to something new instead of a wall?
Now you're getting it.
Okay, so let's shift to our next theme,
Sounds good.
defining success on your terms.
Okay.
Two quotes that seem a little contradictory at first.
Lay it on me.
Steve Jobs said, "The only way to do great work is to love what you do."
Right. Passion is key.
But then Thoreau said, "Success usually comes to those who are too busy to be looking for it."
Interesting. So which is it? Passion or just hard work?
Do we have to be head over heels in love with what we do to be successful?
Or is it more about putting in the hours no matter what we're working on?
It can't be that black and white.
Right. It's more nuanced.
Passion without action is just a daydream.
And action without some level of interest can lead to burnout.
Even if you achieve those outward signs of success,
You might feel empty inside.
so it's about finding the right balance.
Passion fuels the initial drive, but sustained action brings it to life.
And defining success on your own terms is crucial.
Absolutely.
Bo Bennett said, "Success is not in what you have, but who you are."
Such a powerful reminder.
It's not about the external stuff.
It's about who you become as you pursue those goals.
What do you consider your biggest successes?
Overcoming challenges.
Learning from my mistakes.
Which aligns perfectly with what Roy T. Bennett said.
Which is,
Success is not how high you have climbed, but how you make a positive difference to the world.
so maybe it's not about reaching the top.
It's about the impact you have on others.
Contributing to something bigger than yourself.
Exactly.
How do you define success?
It's a question everyone should ask themselves.
Because it shapes your choices and priorities.
Absolutely.
All right, let's move on to our final theme for this segment.
Okay, what is it?
The power of perspective and continuous learning.
Interesting.
Let's start with Confucius.
A classic.
He said, "Everything has beauty, but not everyone sees it."
He was pointing out how subjective beauty is.
Our perception shapes our reality.
And it's not just about physical beauty.
It's about finding beauty in the everyday things.
Even in the tough times.
So, training ourselves to see the world differently.
Focusing on the positive even when it's hard.
It's like shifting from scarcity to abundance.
Exactly.
But how does this connect to learning?
If you're always looking for beauty and opportunity, you're more likely to be curious.
Open to new ideas.
Remember what Socrates said?
If it's a lot of things, which one are you thinking of?
The only true wisdom is in knowing you know nothing.
The more we learn, the more we realize we don't know.
That's what keeps us humble, keeps us asking questions, keeps us growing.
What areas have you discovered knowledge gaps in lately?
Oh, constantly. I mean, that's the beauty of it.
I'm a firm believer that learning never stops.
And that's a big part of having a growth mindset.
Carol Dweck, right?
She found that people with a growth mindset believe they can improve with hard work.
They embrace challenges.
They see setbacks as chances to learn.
It's like Maya Angelou said, when you know better, you do better.
Knowledge isn't just about facts.
It's about using it to make better choices.
Improving ourselves and our lives.
And those choices can impact others, too.
It's a ripple effect.
Instead of fearing our limits, we should embrace learning.
See it as a chance to grow.
Wow, we've covered a lot in this first part of our deep dive.
We have conquering fear, defining success, embracing learning.
And we've just scratched the surface, but hopefully these quotes have gotten you thinking a little differently.
There's always more to uncover.
We'll be back with more thought-provoking quotes and analysis after a short break.
Back for more wisdom from the ages.
Absolutely ready to unearth those hidden gems in the 100 most famous quotes of all time.
We've talked about conquering fear and defining success.
But there's so much more to explore.
Each quote is like a key to a new way of thinking.
Or a fresh perspective on a problem we've been stuck on.
One that really speaks to that is Maya Angelou's, "You can't use up creativity. The more you use, the more you have."
It's like she's giving us permission to be creative without holding back.
We often think of creativity as this limited resource.
Like we only have a certain amount.
But Angelou turns that idea on its head.
It's like a muscle. The more we use it, the stronger it gets.
So the more we write, paint, problem solve, even cook.
The more creative we become.
Exactly.
And that creative energy can flow into other parts of our lives.
Making us more innovative and adaptable.
It reminds me of Bob Marley. Love the life you live. Live the life you love.
A classic.
Embrace life with passion and purpose.
Find joy in the everyday.
But also create a life that aligns with what you believe in.
It's about making choices that lead you towards the life you truly want.
What brings you the most joy right now?
Spending time in nature, connecting with loved ones.
For me, it's those creative projects. And connecting with people, too.
Sounds like you're already living in alignment with your values.
Working on it, always room for improvement.
It's important to be conscious of where you spend your time and energy.
Speaking of intentionality, Albert Schweitzer said success is not the key to happiness. Happiness is the key to success.
Flipping the script on how we usually think about success.
It's not about chasing achievements and hoping they'll make you happy.
It's about finding happiness now and letting that fuel your work.
Do you think focusing on happiness could actually lead to more success?
I do. When I'm stressed or unhappy, it's harder to focus.
Me too. And it's harder to be creative.
When you're feeling good, it's like you attract positive experiences.
What you focus on expands.
Exactly. And speaking of focusing on what matters, let's look at Ralph Waldo Emerson.
Okay, what did he say?
It is not the length of life, but depth of life.
Really makes you think about what a fulfilling life truly is.
Not just how many years you live,
but how much you experience in those years.
making them count, filling them with meaning and purpose.
What experiences have added depth to your life?
Traveling to new places, facing challenges that forced me to grow.
Travel is a big one for me too. And connecting with people from different cultures.
It sounds like you're already prioritizing depth over just checking things off a list.
I try to, but it's easy to get caught up in the busyness of life.
And forget what's truly important.
Which brings us back to that Bo Bennett quote, "Success is not in what you have, but who you are."
Aligning your actions with your values.
Living a life that feels meaningful.
Exactly.
Okay, let's move on to a quote that speaks to the power of action.
I like those.
The difference between who you are and who you want to be is what you do.
Simple, but powerful.
You can't just wish for things to change.
You have to take action to make it happen.
Close the gap between where you are and where you want to be.
Through your choices and consistent effort.
If there's something you want to change, start by figuring out what actions will move you in the right direction.
And
Just do it.
sometimes easier said than done, though.
That's where discipline comes in.
And perseverance. Because sometimes the path to change is tough.
Robert Frost said the best way out is always through.
Facing challenges head on.
Knowing that growth often comes after the tough times.
And sometimes it's about shifting your perspective on those challenges.
How do you mean?
Charles R. Swindoll said, "Life is 10% what happens to us and 90% how we react to it."
We have control over how we interpret and respond to things.
Even in difficult situations, you have a choice.
You can focus on the problem,
Or you can focus on finding a solution,
cultivating that positive mindset.
even when things are hard.
Which reminds me of Neil Donald Walsh.
What did he say?
Life begins at the end of your comfort zone.
It's about pushing past what's familiar.
Embracing challenges.
We often find our true potential when we're uncomfortable.
So taking risks, trying new things, pushing boundaries.
Growth and fulfillment often lie beyond what's comfortable.
What's something you've been hesitant to try but know could be really rewarding?
Oh, there are a few things. Public speaking, for one,
It's a fear for a lot of people.
but it's a skill that can open so many doors.
You might discover a hidden talent or passion.
I might just have to go for it.
And if you're waiting for the perfect time,
There's no such thing.
Napoleon Hill said it best. Don't wait. The time will never be just right.
Stop waiting for things to align perfectly and just take action.
There will always be reasons to delay.
That sometimes you just have to trust your gut and go for it.
And speaking of taking leaps, Maya Angelou beautifully captured the importance of sharing our stories.
What did she say?
There is no greater agony than bearing an untold story inside you.
Wow, that's powerful.
Finding your voice, being vulnerable, using your story to connect with others.
And maybe even inspire change.
What stories are you holding inside that are yearning to be told?
That's a question to sit with for a while.
Our stories have value and can resonate with people in ways we might not even imagine.
They really can. Plutarch said, what we achieve inwardly will change outer reality,
The power of inner transformation.
creating change on the outside.
Aligning your inner world with what you want to see happen.
And it reminds us that real change starts within
Focusing on your own growth can have a ripple effect on everything around you.
relationships, work, community.
Have you ever noted how a shift in your mindset can change things outside of you?
Absolutely. When I'm feeling confident, things just seem to flow better.
When you're negative, it's like you're creating obstacles for yourself.
It's like we create our own reality with our thoughts and beliefs.
Exactly. And that reminds me of another Abraham Lincoln quote.
Which one?
It's not the years in your life that count. It's the life in your years.
Making each day count.
Filling them with things that bring you joy.
Connecting with others, pursuing your passions.
What are some ways you try to make the most of each day?
I start with gratitude, focusing on what I'm thankful for.
Me too. And I try to connect with loved ones, even if it's just a quick text.
Small actions, but they make a difference.
Speaking of making a difference, Pablo Picasso had something to say about that.
What was it?
Everything you can imagine is real.
The power of imagination to shape our world.
Our thoughts, visions, dreams, they can become real.
If we believe in them and take action.
So cultivate your imagination, nurture your dreams.
Don't limit yourself by what seems possible right now.
What dreams have you put aside because they seemed too big or too unrealistic?
It's time to dust those off and see what steps you can take.
If you're feeling stuck, remember this wise Chinese proverb.
Tell me.
The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now.
It's never too late to start working towards your goals.
Or to pursue your passions.
What's one thing you could start today?
That creative project I've been dreaming about for years.
There you go. Take that first step.
And even those small steps, taken consistently, can lead to big results.
That's the key. Consistency.
Abraham Lincoln offered some great advice about that. Whatever you are, be a good one.
Simple but profound.
Strive for excellence, be your best self, make a positive impact.
Finding fulfillment in your work, your relationships.
Being your best, no matter what path you choose.
What does it mean to you to be a good one?
That's something to think about.
It could mean being a good friend, a reliable employee, a kind person.
And for those who have experienced setbacks,
Those are inevitable.
Dennis Waitley has some encouraging words.
Let's hear them.
I am not a failure because I have failed. I am a failure because I have given up.
Failure is a temporary setback, not who you are.
It's about learning from your experiences, not letting them define you.
Cultivated resilience to trying again.
What's a failure you've experienced that taught you something valuable?
We all have them, and those experiences often shape who we become.
Mae West had a great way of putting it.
How so?
You only live once, but if you do it right, once is enough.
Embrace life fully, savor every experience.
Make the most of the time you have.
Let go of fear, pursue your dreams, be authentic.
If you knew you couldn't fail, what would you do differently?
It's a good question to ask yourself.
Where is fear holding you back?
William Butler Yeats had an interesting perspective on action.
What did he say?
Do not wait to strike till the iron is hot, but make it hot by striking.
Don't wait for the perfect moment. Create your own opportunities.
Be proactive, take initiative.
Don't let your circumstances control you.
What's one area in your life where you could be more proactive?
My career? Maybe?
Or your relationships?
Both, probably.
It's about taking control and making things happen.
And speaking of making things happen, let's hear from Albert Einstein again.
Okay, what did he say this time?
Imagination is more important than knowledge.
Interesting. He's emphasizing the importance of creativity.
Thinking beyond what we already know.
Imagination fuels innovation, discovery, progress.
So nurture your curiosity, embrace new ideas.
Don't limit yourself to what's already known.
How can you bring more imagination into your life?
Reading fiction, exploring a new hobby, even just daydreaming.
I like that.
Confucius had some wise words about achieving big goals.
Let's hear them.
The man who moves a mountain begins by carrying away small stones.
The power of persistence and consistent effort.
Even the most daunting tasks can be accomplished.
Breaking them down into smaller steps.
Taking action consistently.
What's a big goal you're working towards?
Writing a book, it feels overwhelming sometimes.
What small steps can you take each day to move closer to that goal?
Write a page a day, even if it's not perfect.
Progress is often made through those small actions, repeated over time.
Robert Collier said it well. Success is the sum of small efforts repeated day in and day out.
Building those positive habits,
Staying focused on your priorities.
making progress, even if it's just a little bit each day.
What habits have you incorporated into your routine that have helped you succeed?
I try to meditate every morning, even if it's just for a few minutes.
That's a great one. Helps to start the day with a clear mind.
Speaking of clear minds, Steve Jobs had some wise words about how we spend our time.
He said a lot of wise things.
Your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life.
Living authentically.
Making choices that align with what's important to you.
Life's too short to live according to someone else's expectations.
What societal pressures have you felt that didn't align with your values?
That's a good question.
It's about being intentional with your time and energy.
Absolutely.
Jimmy Dean had a great way of describing how to navigate challenges.
I'm listening.
I can't change the direction of the wind, but I can adjust my sails to always reach my destination.
We can't control everything that happens to us.
But we can control how we respond.
And how we adapt our approach to reach our goals.
Think about a time when you had to adjust your sails to overcome a challenge.
What did you learn from that experience?
It's a good way to reframe difficult times as opportunities to learn and grow.
And if you think it's too late to chase your dreams,
Never too late.
C.S. Lewis said, you are never too old to set another goal or to dream a new dream.
You can pursue new passions, set new goals, have new adventures at any age.
Embrace lifelong learning.
What dream did you think was too late for you to pursue?
It's never too late to start a new chapter.
Dr. Seuss had a wonderful way of looking at the end of things.
Oh, how's that?
Don't cry because it's over, smile because it happened.
Appreciate the good times even when they're over.
Holding on to sadness or regret just keeps you from enjoying the present moment.
Cherish the memories, learn from the experiences.
Move forward with a grateful heart, ready for new adventures.
What experience are you grateful for, even though it's over?
That trip to Italy a few years ago, it was life-changing,
It's important to find those silver linings.
even in difficult times.
Absolutely. And for a dose of humor,
Always a good thing.
Albert Einstein once said, two things are infinite, the universe and human stupidity. And I'm not sure about the universe.
Always a classic.
It reminds us not to take ourselves too seriously.
To acknowledge our limitations.
And to approach life with a sense of humor.
What mistake can you now look back on and laugh about?
Oh, there are many. But that's part of the journey.
We've covered so much around in this deep dive.
So many inspiring quotes.
And we're not even done yet. There's still more wisdom to uncover.
The power of language to express profound ideas.
Connecting with people across cultures and generations.
Reflecting the universal challenges and triumphs of being human.
We'll be back with some final thoughts and a few more quotes that deserve a closer look. Welcome back to the deep dive. We're in the final stretch of our exploration of the 100 most famous quotes of all time.
It's amazing how much wisdom is packed into these phrases.
We've explored quotes about fear, success, learning, creativity, resilience, living with purpose.
And now, as we wrap up, let's look at a few more that offer insights into what it means to be human.
Starting with one that's both beautiful and inspiring.
I agree.
Eleanor Roosevelt said, "The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams."
The power of hope and vision, believing you can create your own destiny.
So it's not just about having a dream, it's about believing in it.
Seeing its beauty, its potential, even if others don't.
That belief can fuel your actions, even when things get tough.
What dream do you have that you truly believe in, even if it seems crazy to others?
It's a question worth asking yourself.
What gets you excited about the future, even if it seems impossible right now?
And remember, the people who shape the future are often the ones who dare to dream big.
But, as Antoine de Saint-Exupéry reminds us, a goal without a plan is just a wish.
We need to take action, create a roadmap,
It's not enough to just dream.
set clear goals, break them down into smaller steps.
Then consistently work towards those steps.
Think about one of your goals.
Okay.
What specific actions can you take to make it real?
It's about moving from wishing to doing.
And if that goal seems impossible?
Anything is possible.
Charles Kingsley said it best, "The only way to achieve the impossible is to believe it is possible."
The power of belief, challenging our assumptions about what we can do.
Our limitations are often self-imposed.
If we believe in ourselves, we can accomplish amazing things.
Have you ever achieved something you thought was impossible?
Oh, absolutely.
What shifted in your thinking to make it happen?
I realized I was letting fear hold me back.
Once I let go of that fear, things started to fall into place.
Exactly. Those moments when we break through our perceived limits, they're so powerful.
Okay, let's shift to a quote about a different kind of power.
All right, let's hear it.
Jimi Hendrix said, "When the power of love overcomes the love of power, the world will know peace.
The transformative power of love and compassion.
Putting empathy and understanding above dominance and self-interest.
How can we embody this idea?
In our own lives, in our relationships, in how we interact with the world.
It's a challenge.
It makes us examine our motivations, our actions.
Are they rooted in love or the desire for power?
Zig Ziglar had an interesting perspective on the importance of the journey.
What did he say?
What you get by achieving your goals is not as important as what you become by achieving your goals.
It's not just about the destination. It's about who you become along the way.
The growth, the lessons, the resilience.
The character you build.
Are you just focused on the outcome, or are you paying attention to the person you're becoming?
It's about the journey, not just the destination.
And sometimes the simplest messages are the most powerful.
Like what?
Mother Teresa said, "Peace begins with a smile."
Small acts of kindness can have a ripple effect.
A smile can brighten someone's day, create a connection.
Spread joy and positivity.
Peace starts within each of us.
Cultivating inner peace, radiating kindness and compassion.
What small acts of kindness can you do today?
A smile, a compliment, offering help.
Simple but powerful.
Absolutely. Oliver Goldsmith had a great analogy for life's journey.
Tell me.
Life is a journey that must be traveled no matter how bad the roads and accommodations.
The path isn't always smooth, but the journey is valuable.
It's how we grow and discover ourselves.
Embrace the ups and downs. Trust that the journey will shape you.
What difficult roads have you traveled?
The ones that led to growth and transformation.
Those are the roads that make us who we are.
Speaking of embracing challenges,
Yes.
Tina Fey said, "There are no mistakes, only opportunities."
I love that perspective.
Mistakes are just chances to learn and grow.
Let go of perfectionism.
Mistakes are part of the process.
What mistake have you turned into a learning opportunity?
That time I bombed that presentation, it taught me so much about preparation.
Sometimes those perceived failures lead to the biggest breakthroughs.
But Walt Disney said all our dreams can come true if we have the courage to pursue them.
Believe in yourself. Believe in your dreams.
Be brave enough to take action.
What's one step you can take today towards a dream you've been putting off?
I'm going to finally sign up for that writing class.
There you go. Make it happen.
Theodore Roosevelt offered some practical advice for making things happen.
I'm all ears.
Do what you can with what you have where you are.
Focus on what you can control.
Take action, even if you don't have all the resources you want.
Be resourceful. Be determined.
What strengths do you have that you can leverage?
Even limitations can spark creativity.
And remember what Buddha said,
Many wise words.
what we think we become.
Our thoughts create our reality.
Cultivate positive thoughts, attract success and happiness.
Be mindful of your self-talk. Challenge those negative patterns.
What affirmations or beliefs can you adopt to shape your reality?
It's a reminder that we have more power than we realize.
Lao Tzu reminds us a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step.
Take action, even a small step.
Those small steps, taken consistently, lead to big progress.
What journey seemed daunting at first, but became easier once you broke it down?
Running a marathon, it felt impossible until I started training.
One day at a time.
Maya Angelou said, when you know better, you do better.
Knowledge is power.
Personal growth comes from awareness and understanding.
We learn and evolve, we make better choices.
What knowledge has led to positive changes in your life?
Learning about mindfulness has completely transformed my approach to stress.
It's about using knowledge to make a positive impact.
Absolutely. And finally,
Albert Schweitzer again, success is not the key to happiness. Happiness is the key to success.
true success and fulfillment, it's not just about external goals.
It's about cultivating inner happiness,
Finding joy in the journey.
appreciating the present moment.
Approaching life with a positive attitude and a grateful heart.
How do you define happiness?
Connection, creativity, helping others.
What brings you joy?
Those quiet moments in nature, spending time with loved ones.
It's about finding balance.
Striving for your goals while appreciating the present moment.
Been to the 100 most famous quotes of all time.
So many inspiring words.
We hope this has sparked some new insights for you.
Challenged your thinking, inspired your heart.
Remember, these quotes are just the starting point.
It's up to you to apply them to your life.
Use them as guideposts on your journey to growth and self-discovery.
So keep exploring, keep learning.
Keep striving to be the best version of yourself.
Until next time.
Keep those famous quotes close at hand and let their wisdom guide your steps.